I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, they were like, just like pretend that there's a screen in front of you, and I was like, okay.
That's what actors do, right?
You're just gonna paint it in, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, cool.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Convo Couch. My name is Connie.
I'm Sun.
And today we have a very special guest, Mansoor Noor, who is an actor and a filmmaker. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. I had a really strong performing influence from my dad because he used to sing and play on the harmonia at home. We'd have people over, my uncle would play on the tablas, and I would do backing vocals around here.
Okay.
And I think just seeing the joy that it brought to people, it was sort of what inspired me to go into acting.
You come from a very musical, sort of creative family as well, or?
Yeah, I think so. They wouldn't call themselves that, okay. But I think that's probably what inspired me.
So you've got a bit of that influence there, like your dad playing the instruments and your uncle also.
Yeah. It seems like a thing in our culture that we tend to celebrate a lot and perform and entertain guests, and I think that's how I fell into it, which, is surprising probably for my parents because I don't think they want their kids to necessarily be performers. But during film school, I got cast in a commercial for Griffith University, and that's when I went, oh, I could be an actor. Because I wanted to be an actor, but I thought, having looked at the screen, our screens in Australia, I never saw, and even America, I never saw an opportunity to be an actor.
Yes.
And people would constantly remind me of that as well and say, well, there's no work for you, what would you do? And so when I got cast in that commercial, I thought, maybe I can. It was also around that time that 24 was really big. You guys remember 24, Jack Bauer?
No,
You don't remember 24?
No.
It was this, it would take place over 24 episodes, 1 hour each episode, and it was terrorists in America.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Post September 11.
Was it? Okay, that's post.
Yeah, post September 11.
Yeah.
It was a real rise in obvious terrorist dramas, which was very unfortunate. But anyway, so I thought to myself, well, I could be a terrorist.
Yeah. Okay, what?
It's funny because, the industry, and both cultures, I remember Anglo friends and their parents being like, oh, how are you going to go as an actor?
Yes.
And also Middle Eastern families being like, oh, he's pursuing acting. But what's funny is as soon as you have like a commercial.
Oh, everyone's super proud.
So yeah. It all flips on its head. That's exactly right, Suddenly you're like singing to a horse in a commercial and everyone's like, oh, it's so great that Mansoor is pursuing his dreams. He's doing so well.
God.
The first year out, I was really lucky. There started to be a real conversation around diversity, so I really graduated at the right time.
Nice.
Look, at the end of the day, we really just want even representation in sort of colorblind casting.
Yes.
Something like Pulse was really great. There were Middle Eastern characters in that weren't, necessarily Middle Eastern. I think what I would like to see is just more sitcom stuff with just people of color in it.
Yeah.
I think that's really what Australia is lacking. We have a lot of dramedy, we have a lot of satire, like Here Come the Habibs, which, plays on stereotypes, and if that's, your cup of tea, then great. But we have nothing sort of in between. I just did development for Comedy of Errors yesterday with Hilary Bell. It's an adaptation contemporary at Riverside, and I had to do... so there's 2 sets of twins in that show, and they keep...
They
get confused. They think they're both singular.
Yes.
And I had to play 2 sets of twins, but completely differently.
Yeah, you'd be great at that, though.
And so the first character we decided to base in Western Sydney, and he had invisible lat syndrome and would walk around very hunched and very low. And our other character, who was from Ephesus, we thought was a lot classier and had like a sort of more privileged upbringing. So he was... he had great posture, and he was, he was easily offended, and very proper. And so, because I would be on stage flipping between the characters with just a pair of glasses, I'd have to go from Dromio of Ephesus to Dromio of Syracuse, and back to Dromio of Ephesus. And so we had to do in the room a lot of physical and vocal work to find the differences in those characters, because it's for a young audience as well. So we had like 7-year-olds in the room, and we were like, did you know when I was... And they were like, because you had glasses on. And I was like, is that the only reason you could tell? It was the 2 different characters.
I tried so hard.
I think my goal is to probably go to the States because there is more work over there. I think one of the problems in Australia is that there is not much work. We talk about diversity and we talk about that sort of stuff, representation, but there isn't that many TV shows, which means there isn't that many roles. And usually they go to the same few people because they think that they attract the same audiences. And for me, I think America has such a huge huge market and so much more opportunity. In saying that, I have many friends that have been in America for years and years and years, and all they can book is a couple of bit parts here and there. You know, it takes a long time to crack a series regular. But then I've also got people that I know that like overnight, well, not overnight, but like it will seem overnight, will book something and then have to fly over, and suddenly it just sort of like snowballs. It's absolutely right. I think that digital age is really changing things. The era of TV, unfortunately, sadly, is dead. No one really watches TV. Everyone watches on demand now. And it also, we're so accessible. Like we all have cameras, we all have lights. You can buy stuff on eBay now, and you can basically start your own company and start producing stuff. I mean, there's independent web series that have more views than some of Channel 9 and Channel 10's TV shows. Yeah. So I think the solution to our problems is us.
Yeah, right.
Which is hard for some actors, because some actors don't have the producing abilities. Some actors don't have writing abilities. But I think for those of us that can content produce, we need to make the content people want to see and make it good. Yeah. And I hope that creates more opportunity. It's hard. You don't want to be asking people to work for free forever. But, you know, I've got friends that created a series called Starting From Now, and the first season they did on very minimal budget.
Julie Cussif.
Yeah.
Yes.
Julie
and Rosie
Cussif.
Lord.
And Rosie Lord.
Yeah.
And they produced the first season. I don't know what exactly happened, but they got picked up by, I think, a YouTube network. Yes. They got hundreds of thousands of views. And from those viewers, we're then able to say, for the second season, we're starting an Indiegogo. Can you donate $1, whatever you can? We'll make a season 2. And then they were able to fund their season 2, fund their season 3. Eventually, Screen Australia jumped on board because they saw how successul their reach was. I think they're up to, don't quote me here, but I think
I actually watched it.
Like 38 million views
altogether
or something.
Crazy,
It's like something really high.
Yeah.
And that's just these girls who weren't getting work because there was no work. They're all drama school grads, and they just went, let's make our own series. And they did it.
Yeah.
And so that's a great example. I mean, it's easier said than done. Yeah. I mean, I made a short at the start of this year called He's ISIS, which is a subversive comedy about an actor playing a terrorist for his first time on set, and an actual ISIS terrorist takes over, and no one can tell them apart because they're a racist bunch of crew, and you can't tell the difference between these two Middle Eastern people, one who's actually ISIS and one who's a terrible actor trying to be ISIS. And
which one are you playing?
That's hilarious.
I always like to say I'm too pretty to play terrorist, a convincing terrorist, so I play the bad terrorist.
Okay, yeah.
As artists, we have a lot of downtime. And it's so sad to just have that time go by with nothing, without progressing in some way or creating something. You can get really down in the down periods, but if I've just got a project that I'm collaborating with someone, that just picks me up. It just gives me something to do with my time, something, creative outlet. And then, you know, once we've written a pitch or a treatment or a series, then we can go and apply for development funding at Screen Oz and start a conversation there. And then once we have that money, then we can go and create. Like, it's just step by step by step. People can't be bothered. Sometimes people want to just get things done quickly. They don't want to go through the process of like creating, and development means you have to go away to a writer's room, get a group together, write a concept, then put together a concept, then write the concept, then submit that with a proof of concept, which is like a scene or like a short or like a pilot that you want to shoot with the money that you receive, and then you have to apply for development funding. For production funding. And then once you've got production money, then you can go shoot it. And then after you finish shooting it, you then need to take whatever you've got to them and then get post-production funding to get the money for that. So it's not just as simple as apply and then here's $500,000 to make your series.
Okay.
It's here's $20,000 to write the concept. Right. And what they're looking for is just unique stories.
Okay.
Unique stories that have an audience.
Yeah, okay.
That's the thing. You can write an amazing story, but if you don't know where you're targeting it, why would Screen Oz want to fund it if it's just going to sit at the bottom of a pile somewhere? It's not as simple as just apply and get the money. But the process of applying is quite easy. Okay. And you can email them at any time and they will respond.
Right. Yeah, nice.
So if you send them an inquiry going, what do I need to do? They'll say, you need to strengthen your audience, or you need to find, or find, you've got 3 male writers on your team. Go find a female. Or like, you're 3 white men writing a story about Indigenous women. Maybe go find some Indigenous women to attach to the project.
What would you like to do? Game? Oh, you get a choice. You get game, acting, improv, or random singing. I was gonna throw a monologue in there. I don't know.
I mean, let's not go monologue. I guess acting improv?
Alright.
Okay.
I was going to go game just because I didn't want to put pressure on myself, but alright.
Acting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure. So I know that we're like really in love and we probably want to settle down and have kids and have a really great life together. But I really want to try and make it in the States.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just going to go over there for a bit.
Yep. I mean, I can come as well. Like, my work allows me to work wherever.
Great. And sing.
You know, you're even ruining it like that. I feel like that's like the excuse.
I didn't say I had a problem with that.
Really like your leader.
I mean, that's kind of my dream, isn't it? Like, that I have a girlfriend and I'm like, so I really want to go to this. And she's like, yeah, I'll come. Okay, well, there's no conflict
Yeah,
here.
this was too much like real life. This wasn't acting. This is a bad scenario.
I thought he sounded like he was gonna propose. And then it would be like hilarious if you go have him like, oh my god, yes. And he was like, I would like to break up with you.
I basically, like, yeah, played out the scenario that I dream about, but it is definitely not the truth for me. I'm like, we're so in love. We've been doing so well. We're so great, right? We're so happy together. I'm not forever alone. Yeah.
Should we do like a, I don't know, you're doing one on ISIS. Maybe we should do like a, not feeding into it. Just,
We should do one where you're going to go sign up with ISIS. I'm sorry?
Let's just do the same thing.
The conflict of resolution?
Yeah.
The dilemma is you don't want me to go, or like you can't go to the States.
okay, yeah, maybe we'll do that because I was like, that's too easy. I was like, okay, I'll come with you. There needs to be more conflict. I'm sorry, you're right. That's like the number one improv. You've got to be like, yeah.
And we'll shout out random stuff.
Okay, cool, go.
Love it. So, you know I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
You know we have a great
So
relationship.
good.
Gonna have plenty of kids. We're gonna have the house with a picket fence and everything.
You're going to be so cute.
But I have to go to the States because I really want to pursue acting, and I just don't know if anything's gonna happen over there. But I just got to give it a shot because if I don't do it now, I'm never
Well,
gonna know.
but I thought we were going to stay here with our picket fence with our really hot Eurasian kids. Well, they're not Eurasian. They'll be like
Asian.
Asian kids.
You know, time and place. We can do that. I can come
But I
back.
can't go to the US.
Start breaking down.
This is
Connie, start breaking down.
really hard.
But, you know...
I thought this was going to be easier. I thought you were just going to say, well, okay, let's go.
No, but I can't go to the US. You know I can't go to the US because I have to finish my school here and then we're going to have kids. And then, yeah, I'm pregnant with your kid. What?
I didn't see that coming.
So what?
But I thought we were maybe waiting for marriage.
Because we're so conservative.
We're really conservative.
Okay,
We
well
have
maybe
conservative parents
I did IVF actually with your sperm and you didn't know about it.
Oh,
And,
wow, this is elaborate.
yeah.
I'm starting to get a little... I think you might need help.
But you're my help.
And I think that
you're my support network.
I really just need to go. And
Start moving.
But I think you need to go towards you know the real estate and to
Chase.
move a place with us
Ooh.
together and we can move in together.
I'm sorry.
Mansoor,
You need a
wait,
great life. and,
Yeah, I just
I'm
really
just gonna-
Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging with us on the Convo Couch. It was so fun to have you here with us.
Thank you.
If you want to check out any of Mansoor's work, his photography, social media, all the usual, it's in the link. So make sure you follow him because he's got some exciting projects coming up. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.